Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack bringing you live tournament action in All League Tournament. That is ALT-Jun 2011. We are going to be watching two fantastic players battling it out on Shakura's Plateau. This is game number 2 in their best of 3 matchup. And these guys want to stay in the match. But before we get too far into that, I do want to introduce my co-caster here with me right now. We do have Shakoi on the line. How are you, Shakoi?
I'm doing good, Knack. It's been a long day, but I'm glad I actually get to watch Tox play.
Yeah, speaking of long day, when he says that, you guys need to understand what this guy means when he says long day. Bear with me for just a minute, Shakoi. He has been building me a website, literally, while I'm out here just dicking around, casting games, having fun, living the high life. He's in behind the scenes, taking care of business, making sure that all the my sound is good on the live stream, excuse me, and building a website at the same time. I mean, who's the hard worker here? I mean, honestly, you know what I mean? Shakoi definitely is the one.
No, it's still your voice. Your voice is the flagship of this company, so I give props to you.
Well, I sure appreciate that, but thank you very much for all the wonderful things that you do to make this tournament go. So it's nice to be able to say that while you're right here. So everybody out there, appreciate this guy immediately. Appreciate him. I do. I mean, it's just fantastic, the things that you do. So thanks again, man.
No problem. I spoke to Kid earlier in this match, and again, it comes down to he was, I don't want to say hesitant or intimidated necessarily because he's a good player, but I would say worried about Tox. And I didn't have a chance to watch their first game, but I imagine it didn't go too well for him, and I can only imagine at this point, now that he's down 1, he's got to be feeling that pressure.
I agree, and I think of all the people that I know, Kid is more susceptible to that pressure than many of the other players, and Tox, I think, probably gauged that because he's played him before. He knows him, and so I think he actually did. To give you a little update on that match, he kind of rushed right into Baneling's man and really put the pressure on him very early. Got some really clutch Banelings against his Zerglings, and hit straight for the mineral line. Kid did a marvelous job microing his drones in the mineral line to escape that. But man, I think it did exactly what you're saying. It made him worried about that matchup.
Definitely. Another thing too, Kid is very good on his scouting so far. He's scouted everything that ToxLonely looks to be doing. He sees the Zerglings. On the flip side, I don't see Tox. He hasn't done any scouting really. I mean, it's like he's scouting in slow motion.
Right. He hasn't even found his opponent's base yet, if you look at it. So I mean, he's got 2 overlords cruising out across the map, but and he knows where his base is, but he has not been in there at all. So that is a great point. Kid staying on top of his scouting that's exactly what we need to see, I think, in this game. What is it do you think that is going to be the determining factor? Oh, I'm going to ping something for you, Shakoi. You're going to like this.
Oh, wow. Looks like some payback. But to answer your question, it's going to come down to, I think, timing, honestly. I mean, you look at their spawning pools, they're going for the same general strategy, with the exception of, as of now, they're both taking different routes. But that initial start of the game, trying to get their Zergling speed, ToxLonely is way ahead of Kid, and it's just going to pile on from there. I mean, the next structure and the next tech tree, everything that they want to do further on in this game, ToxLonely is going to have that advantage moving forward, and that's going to come into play soon.
Right, and now he is going straight for the Roach Warren, if you see that. Right there. That's going to be pretty good if he can get enough roaches out before the Banelings come over and are able to do damage. Look at this Kid already saying, I'm winning. We will see. It's got to come down to ToxLonely saying GG first, I believe. But look at that. There go Banelings.
And, again, it's very interesting. Kid, other than the Roach Warren, he does not see. But he knows that ToxLonely is going to base. He had 1 gas, and he was going to early spawning pool. So, ToxLonely has no idea that these Banelings are here now that they're in his base. But
right.
Looks like here comes early harassment.
Oh, these 3 Banelings are just not going to be able to do the damage they need. Oh my goodness. Denied is the word of the day. Wow, very, very good control there by Tox. Man alive.
And
Footage.
that sucks because I think he invested a lot in trying to get that.
Yeah, he
And
really did. I mean, he took a drone disadvantage there to make that happen. You can see him, he's just at 19 drones. His opponent is right up to 23. So it's not a huge gap, but definitely in a Zerg versus Zerg matchup, I mean, it's super important to stay on even footing that way.
definitely. And you know, again, this is what it comes down to. I mean, there's his timing. He chose to do that attack, which now he's going to be way behind. I mean, I would say he's almost behind at least maybe almost a minute now. At least by drone count. I mean, he's way, way down.
Yeah. Yep, and growing. I mean, now it just bumped up to 28 for Tox. So yeah, I think you're right. It's going to come down. I think Kid is back on his heels again. He's on his back again in in the game, and that he doesn't excel in that situation. I think he kind of lets his nerves get to him just a little bit when he's like this. But
And it's interesting you say that because he does not excel at it at all. But on the flip side, ToxLonely I think does excel. I mean, every single time I play him practicing, the minute that I let him get comfortable and he's able to just do his own thing, he's very hard to beat.
right,
And if he's going to do harassment, he has got to A, be very successful at it, and B, continue it. He
right.
cannot play passive against ToxLonely.
Yeah, that's true. Tox is so very aggressive and very, very good at judging his opponent after they get in game. He's got that. And I'm just mystified to how a 12-year-old is this phenomenal at StarCraft 2. I mean, you've played with him more than I have. I've played him a couple times, but I mean, he knows the build orders for all the other races.
hmm
And I mean, he trained you, did he not, pretty well in how to play Protoss.
Yeah, and I mean it's not well. I can't say that he did not train me how to play Protoss. I can tell you that, but he definitely trained me how to play a good Zerg, which I think that's actually how I learned to play Protoss very well against Zerg players is because of him.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't say that his build orders is what is so amazing about him because when I play him one on one, me and him are fairly fast as opposed to what we're going to do. But what separates him is how well he can maneuver his Zerg units. I mean, he is so good at his micro, and as a 12-year-old, that is amazing. That his mind can process that and his fingers can move that quick. But I mean, that to me, that is what stands out in his gameplay.
Just amazing stuff. It makes me so happy that you get to spend time with that guy. I just never get a chance to play him the way that that you've got to do it, and I've seen him do that with other guys too. He's always out there hanging out, and he helps people, and that's a neat quality to see in somebody so young. So I think he's got a long, lustrous career ahead of him.
Very nice kid too.
Yeah.
He does not have an ego whatsoever.
No, and he plays well in game. He's not shy. Like, I love some of the chatter, but he's never mean to opponents. You know what I mean? But he'll tell them when he thinks they're making a mistake, and he does not mind stomping them into the ground. And I think that's the way to be.
And here we go. There's some early harassment. You're about to see how well his micro really is. I mean, his roaches are going to do a lot of damage. I wouldn't be surprised if he just didn't full out win right here.
Yep, and look at this. Burrowed.
That's amazing.
And there is no detection, so he is going to be sneaking all the way, probably, I assume, to a mineral line.
Well, he's going to use one of these roaches as a distraction. I imagine those roaches are going to go in to attack it. Actually, no, he burrowed it. Huh, interesting. So yeah, he might just go right past him. That's amazing.
Right up that ramp. Oh, he's going to come out right on top of him.
Game. That's game right there. If I was Kid right now, I would be breaking my keyboard, headset, and everything else because that is a GG.
Yeah. All those roaches just obliterating. And see, you love this chatter. Tuck saying bye. I mean, he's not being. I don't think he's necessarily being mean. I think it's all said in good fun. But man, alive.
Well, you gotta kind of have some kind of swagger too. So
yeah.
What do you expect?
Oh yeah, I mean, but what can he do at this point? Kid really has to know that he is severely behind in this matchup. Now Tox pushing up the ramp there. Down goes one spine crawler. The roach is melting away in a pool of acid. Lovely. I mean, it's just extremely well played.
You can't let ToxLonely get comfortable. I mean, whoever plays him next, I hope that is a good enough warning for you.
Well said. And down goes that mineral line. My goodness. There's the GG from Kid. Last words?
Oh man, congrats to ToxLonely and nice try, kid.
Awesome. Hey, why don't you give us the exit line the way it should be, since I've screwed it up at least 100 times tonight.
Oh, hey, okay, I'm gonna screw it up too probably, but I believe it is. You don't always have to alt tab. Sometimes you can also enjoy alt StarCraft. Enjoy the night.
Beautiful. Thank you guys. We'll see you soon.